Well, the rumours were true after all. Battlefield isn't following in the footsteps of Call of Duty, as we're going back in time to a World War I setting, and instead of getting Battlefield 5, Battlefield 2143, or Bad Company 3, we're actually going to be getting a game called Battlefield 1, which is a bit of a weird name if I'm going to be honest, but I guess it kind of makes sense with the game taking place in the First World War, plus chronologically, it's the first setting within Battlefield's timeline. It's not an alternate history game either, like a lot of people first suggested, as EA have said that Battlefield 1 is based around true events that are historically accurate, using some of the weapons and transportation that would have been around back then. The technology that we'll be using obviously won't be as advanced, as there won't be any attack choppers with hydro rockets strapped to its sides, but there's still going to be a variety of weapons and vehicles, allowing for Battlefield's land-sea-air combat that we all love the series for. And the awesome thing about the game's setting here is that there's going to be a load of new things that we haven't really seen before in a Battlefield game. Swapping quad bikes and jets with horses and biplanes, the new game is going to keep a lot of things that make Battlefield Battlefield, but fit it all in with the World War I setting. This means that all your typical guns are going to make their way back into the next one, but there's also going to be a bigger emphasis on melee combat with different hand-to-hand weapons such as swords, improvised clubs, shovels and even bayonets, and these are all going to have their own feel and perform slightly differently to each other. Historical flamethrowers and mustard gas can also be seen in the trailer, along with a whole bunch of other things that were around in the past too. And by the harsh nature of these less advanced methods to kill, it looks like the game's going to be pretty violent and true to the barbaric times of the First World War. Destruction is back and bigger than ever, and it's said that the landscape can be blown to pieces, walls can be torn apart by gunfire, and giant craters can be formed from the explosive shells and artillery strikes. Destroying stuff has always been something that the Battlefield games have been well known for, and it's definitely not going away here. As for the locations in the game, we'll be taken all over the place, from the muddy trenches on the Western Front, European towns, the Dolomites mountain range, the vast sandy deserts of Arabia, the Italian Alps, plus loads of other locations that haven't been in Battlefield before. Battlefield 1 will retain some of the main aspects of the series, including the huge open landscapes and maps, vehicular combat, and 64-player online matches. And also, just like in the previous titles, Battlefield 1 will have a single-player campaign too, along with its multiplayer element. There isn't a whole load of information out there at the moment on the story, but I can confirm that you won't just be playing as the same guy right the way through the game, as there's going to be different stories, focusing on the lives of different characters across the world. One of those playable characters is a Bedouin woman warrior, who you can see in the trailer riding a horse and brandishing a sword in the desert. Another character will be that guy on the cover art wearing the cape. He's one of the 369th Infantry Regiment, aka the Harlem Hellfighters, who were a real-life African-American infantry unit that fought in World War I. There's much more emphasis on diversity this time around, and to show gamers that this was an international war that included lots of different ethnicities and people from different backgrounds and cultures. This time around, the 4 different main classes are back in multiplayer, but now there's a medic class instead of an engineer. There's an assault, medic, scout and support, and these will all play out similarly to how they have done in the past, though the medic will now be the one doing all the healing rather than the assault. There's also going to be specific vehicle classes with special tanker and pilot loadouts depending on which vehicle you spawn in, which is another different thing for the franchise. So there's definitely a lot of information here to sink our teeth into. We know where the next big Battlefield game is going, and it's looking to be headed in the right direction. Battlefield 1 will hit the shelves on October 21st, worldwide on PS4, Xbox One and PC. But if you pre-order the Early Enlister edition, you'll get to play the game 3 days ahead of its release on the 18th. Plus you'll also get your hands on 3 themed item packs, the Hellfighter, Red Baron and Arabia, and 5 battle packs containing even more items. So yeah, this confirms that battle packs will be returning to the series once again too. There's also a limited collector's edition coming out, including a 14-inch statue of the cover art character, the contents of the Early Enlister edition, an exclusive steelbook, a cloth poster, a patch, a deck of playing cards, and a messenger pigeon tube with exclusive DLC. Now there's no doubt there's going to be some kind of season pass releasing further down the line, as Battlefield 1 will have DLC packs brought out, once the game hits and people are playing it, and this will probably fall under the Battlefield Premium service yet again. DLC will probably contain all of that usual stuff such as maps and weapons, but we're going to hear a lot more about that stuff at a later date. So Battlefield 1 is on the horizon, and fans are crying out with relief that the game is something fresh and different. There's plenty to look forward to here, and the hype levels are at an all-time high, but we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer before we get to see more on the game and watch it running properly in action. E3 seems like a safe bet for when we can expect to hear more about Battlefield 1, and with it being just around the corner, we probably won't have to wait all that long at all. DICE has done something risky here, as the World War setting is something that hasn't really been explored a lot in video games, but Battlefield 1 looks like the game that the fans have been waiting for, and I'm really excited to see more on it soon. So that's pretty much it. Stay tuned to hear loads more on Battlefield 1 in the future on my channel, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to see plenty more. Take it easy guys, and I'll be seeing you in that next one.